Each November, mustaches sprout up across the world in support and commemoration of prostate cancer and male mental health initiatives. So it's only fitting that this month, we count down the top 10 mustaches from the sweet science. Number 10, Ken Norton. Black Hercules was voted one of the 25 best heavyweights of all time, but his mustache is decidedly top 10. A nightmarish matchup for any heavyweight, Norton marched forward behind a crab defense, his facial hair peering out above his forearm like Wilson on Home Improvement. Speaking of whiskers, Norton had a good set in the figurative sense as well. Took some of the division's most devastating punchers, names like Foreman, Shavers, and Cooney, to knock him out. Number 9, Evander Holyfield. Holyfield has a problem with adapting to modern reality, which includes tax payment and the acceptance that one's skills erode over time. Part of that is also hanging on to antiquated facial hairstylings, which earns the real deal huge points here. Evander even tried the whole beard and pattern baldness thing for a while. He's decided that the only hair he needs is atop his upper lip. Number 8, Randall Tex Cobb. Mustaches can either be a sign that you take yourself way too seriously, or that you don't take yourself seriously at all, and you like to have a good time all the time. Such was the case with Tex Cobb, who famously was clobbered by Larry Holmes in one of the most one-sided world title fights of all time. Still, as he touched gloves with Holmes before round 12, he told Holmes, "Let's party." Cobb's facial hair embodied his free-swinging, hard-drinking, and liberal ways that make him a folk hero to this day. Number 7, Robert Garcia. Boxing's it trainer deserves extra points for his dedication to the mustache. Once the IBF Super Featherweight champion, Garcia sported a neat flat top and neatly trimmed whiskers. Now working the corners of some of the sport's very best, Garcia hasn't changed his visage one bit. He's inspired his protege Brandon Rios to dabble with facial hair on occasion as well. Garcia passes on the Mexican spirit in fine grooming and in boxing. Number 6, Aaron Pryor. Perhaps the best junior welterweight who ever lived, Pryor had a carefree personality outside of the ring and an unmatched snarling intensity inside of it. His mustache suited both. As his career began to wind down, his facial hair deviated from the traditional stash to more of a horseshoe shape. He will always be remembered for his 1982 battle with the late Alexis Arguello, which is unquestionably the best fight ever waged between two mustachioed men. Number 5, Danny Little Red Lopez. Lopez is one of the most soft-spoken, gentle individuals in the history of boxing, so his mustache had a Ned Flanders type effect. It just made him look even more neighborly. Inside the ring, however, he was a nasty character, and the lip bristle and mop haircut created a stoic visage that never changed, no matter how hard he was hit or how hard he hit the mat. Number 4, Al Bernstein. A true rebel and revolutionary when it comes to facial hair. In his autobiography, Bernstein revealed that he once had to fight for the right to have a mustache during his days calling top-ranked boxing at ESPN. Only during one period in his career has Bernstein been cleanly shaven, and it wouldn't last long. Showtime and Channel 5 telecasts would be as barren as Al's face without that facial hair. Number 3, Yoko Gousha. With his puffy afro and dark hair hugging his upper lip, the fierce eagle looked like a living cartoon character. Ironically, he's been turned into one of sorts, as a giant version of him is now the mascot for a Japanese soccer team. Despite 13 defenses of the WBA light flyweight title, he still hasn't been inducted into the Hall of Fame. He gets his enshrinement on this list nonetheless. Number 2, Pierre Coetzer. Coetzer took after his fellow countryman Jerry Coetzee's mustache and took it to a whole new level. So thick was his facial hair that it seemed to hover in front of his face, like a Mr. Potato Head doll. Coetzer took losses to the division's elite, Riddick Bowe, Frank Bruno, and George Foreman. While his mustachioed countrymen Coetzee, Franz Botha, and Corey Sanders might have gained more success or notoriety, they just don't match up to him in the facial follicle department. Number 1, John L Sullivan. The hard-punching, hard-partying father of heavyweight boxing belongs amongst the greatest fighters of all time, and more importantly this month, among the greatest mustaches of all time. Perhaps America's first sporting superstar, Sullivan was thought of as the epitome of manliness. As a result, the handlebar mustache became cool amongst men of the 1870s, a full 100 years before Raleigh Fingers brought it back. It's estimated that more than 200 men across the country stared into those whiskers and wound up getting knocked out. So if supporting prostate cancer research isn't enough to stop you from shaving your upper lip this month, perhaps just being more like old John will inspire you. Fight Network proudly supports the Movember movement. Please visit Movember.com for more information or to donate to the cause.